And we are live. What's good, Charles? Your man, DL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. How y'all feeling? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Today was the first day of school. My daughter had a good day. She mission complete. She's returned to base, all that good stuff. She gave me a good after action report. Yeah, it's a lot of military terms I'm throwing at y'all right now, but y'all know how I get down. I'm just so happy, man. My little baby was so cute in her little uh first day of school outfit with little fresh shoes on and everything, man. And she had a great day, dude. She got up, got her, I woke her up, got herself ready, did her hair, put in her little earrings. My daughter's getting girly, y'all. She's getting girly. And yeah, um, uh, it is what it is. I knew it was gonna happen one of these days. It's starting to happen now. But anyway, she had a good time at school. She's telling me about her plans of what she's gonna do, and she's already gonna move some classes around. I'm so proud of her. So proud. You know what I mean? I truly enjoy being a father, man. It is a great thing. And for those who aren't parents, just being involved in a child's life is a great thing. You don't have to be a parent. You could be a coach. You can just be a concerned member of the community. Having your nieces, nephews, cousins, or just neighbors, just being around kids, man, it's a special kind of magic, man. I'm telling you, bro, it's amazing watching them grow up, watching them do the things that you did, and just sit back and let them do it. You know it's not gonna work. Oh, this is gonna be a train wreck. Let's watch. Um, so yeah, I wanted to start the day off with that. It's funny though, they start school on a Thursday, they got school Friday, and then boom, they're out for the weekend. Why didn't they just wait till Monday? Why didn't they just wait till Monday? I don't understand, man, but it is what it is. Man, I hope y'all are well. Um, Active in the chat straight away. How y'all feeling? Like we got my Knights are in here, brother. Jack Black's in the building. What's good, fam? Always a pleasure to see you, man. I hope all is well. Brother Dinosaur is in the building, man. He's like, DL, you're bonita. Yeah, the Maya substitute. And Maya, for those who don't know, she is Colombian woman. Beautiful woman, has a very cool YouTube channel where she talks about the life in like Colombia, like the small towns and stuff like that. And she talks about some of the bigger towns and cost of living and just how they get down. So yeah, bro. And it was funny because I was like, I didn't see that until he said something. I was like, yo, that is her. That could be her. Like she is fine though. Brother Dino, Trump lies, DL, you should not. I didn't. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I just found that picture online, I was, I used a template in that thumbnail. I couldn't figure out how to do this particular thumbnail. So I'm like, I'll only go with a template. And that template has some dude in the picture in the slot where the female is, that pretty girl is on the thumbnail. So I just went online, found a pretty girl, boom, cut paste, bam, there it is, man. Shout out to Canva. You know what I mean? And then I found a picture of the Italian dude. I kind of put that over there. Then I put myself in there. But I really wasn't, it wasn't a conscious thought, my brother. But subconsciously, that's what I like. You feel me? So subconsciously is there. That's what, it's like, oh, that's kind of told on myself. But yeah, bro. So I ain't lying, man. I'm telling you the truth, bro. I didn't consciously do that. Brother Jack. Feeling great, Unc. This job test prep getting to be very easy. Good. You want to keep running that prep, man, until you can do it in your sleep and it's easy. That prep stuff is way harder than what you're going to encounter on the actual exam. And Brother Jack and I are talking about some air traffic control stuff because this young man took advantage of the information of the videos to become an air traffic controller, and he is on his way. For all of y'all who did not take advantage, who were eligible, shame on you. You know what I mean? But these Knights are going to be out here getting it. It is what it is. So there you have it. Brother Dino, like, DL, did you watch Invisible superhero cartoon series with Invincible? No, I haven't watched that yet. I've seen it. Some people were telling me about that a long time ago. Bro, I'm having a Invincible. I've heard about it, and I've seen the Critical Drinker did a review on it. It's supposed to be real cutting edge, real, real hardcore. Tells a good story, good animation, good writing, and all that. I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to make time this weekend to go see Sound of Freedom. Brother Cody wants me to. Well, he doesn't want me to. He suggested that I do. a reaction to it, or like just kind of talk about it, maybe a review. So I'm going to try to find some time this weekend, maybe catch the matinee or something like that, and go see Sound of Freedom here. It should be playing everywhere. This is Tampa, Deep Red State. I'm pretty sure I can find it playing. Um, I'm gonna do that, and yeah, bro. As far as like when I get home, it's reading and it's doing this, and been reading a lot of scripts, not a whole lot, but I've been reading a couple scripts lately. I'm like working on one now that I'm reading. I'm not writing it, I'm just reading it, and I have to get my notes together, and I have to get back to my guy. And I need to get that done. I want to get that done by Saturday. I've already read it once. I'm kind of going through it again, kind of going over my notes. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I love being busy like this as opposed to just sitting around watching movies. Because in LA, that's all I did was watch movies. That's it. I watched so many movies. I wasn't really writing, and I was doing stand up. So you know, my creativity all came from stand up, and then just watching movies because I was bored or whatever. Um, I don't know. I like this better, man. I like reading these books that I'm reading, catching up on stuff. Watching videos. Um, reading scripts and all that. I do enjoy this. This is way gooder, way gooder. Um, so it is what it is. And Brother Jack was like, every day, man. Yes, absolutely. Stay on that, bro. The first season is brilliant, and the second season starts later this year. Huh? Maybe I'm thinking of a different cartoon. I thought it was one that's out there that's been out there for a while. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look into that, bro. It's on Amazon Prime, so I thought I knew what you were talking about, but maybe I don't. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into it. What have I watched on Amazon? I watched the first season of Uploaded, and then I watched the first episode and a half of the latest uh season of Uploaded. Have you watched Uploaded, bro? I thought the first season was real good. Um, but I can't. I kind of stopped because the second season starts so slow, and that tends to happen in Hollywood, bro. They come out with a show that's like fire first season, and then like the second season, first two episodes will just be so slow. They just kind of you just lose it. Like you don't even want to deal with it. Uh, and I was really high up on Uploaded, bro. I don't know if you saw that or not. Wonderful 34 is in the building. So what else have I watched? Black Mirror. I don't know if Brother Dino, have you watched Black Mirror? What was it? It was Demon number 79, I think it is. I don't know if you saw that episode. It's in the latest season. Bro, man, check that episode out. Let me know what you think. That I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant, bro. I don't know if you've seen it, man, but check that out, man. Um, Black Mirror. It's on Netflix. Black Mirror, the latest season on Netflix, and I want to say the episode title is Demon number 79 or something like that. Um, definitely has demon in it. Really great premise, bro. Let me know what you think. I don't want to say anything about it because I don't want to spoil it at all. That's for everybody out there. It's just Dino's always asking me about, you know what I mean? He's always asking me about movies and stuff. I think that was one of the best uh you know creative things I've watched this year. That's the best TV I've seen. Not the whole season now. Not the whole season. Just that episode. You know what I mean? Because it's Black Mirror has some garbage on there, but this episode was really good. I think well written, well acted, great premise, very thought provoking. Bro, check that out. Let me know if you've seen it. Oh, Omni Man, Father of Invisible. Okay, yeah, Omni Man is probably what I was thinking about. Um, don't know Black Mirror, no Netflix. Bro, I wish you had Netflix, man. I wish I could send you my password so you could watch it, but Netflix done crack down on it. Bro, that episode is really good, man. I mean, damn, I have to figure out a way to get that to you. That episode is really, I'm like asking everybody, have you seen this episode? Well, I've seen Black Mirror, but have you seen this episode? I don't care about the rest of Black Mirror. There's only like 2 or 3 episodes in that whole series that I thought were pretty good. Black Mirror kind of, I mean, like every season they give you one really good episode, well written, well thought out, well acted, and it's always got actors in there that are really good and kind of bubbling under. Yeah, man, for real. That's what it is. But welcome to everybody, y'all. Thanks for coming out here. Desperate to Watch Foundation. I don't know what that is, but it's on Apple TV. Yeah, it's so many different platforms now, man. It makes it so difficult to watch stuff. Um, Hulu, Apple. I have Amazon. I have Netflix. I got rid of Disney, I think. You know what I mean? It's so many recurring payments. You got to go through there and figure out what I have and what I don't have. You know, I have F1. I love F1. I have the F1 app. I'm a big fan of F1. I'll never get rid of F1. If I got rid of everything else, I will keep F1. You know, because I love watching those races and those programs on there. But I mean, it's just so much. You know, YouTube TV. I have that. I think that really works because American football season is about to start, and that's how I watch football. Other than that, I wouldn't even want it. It's just so many platforms, bro. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Wonderful 34. Like, bro, did you ever catch Tenet? No, because I got to get Hulu Plus to watch it, and I don't know. I'm gonna pay for Hulu Plus. I'm going to watch it because I promised I would watch it, but I'm gonna have to get Hulu not Hulu Plus, but no, HBO Plus. I think it's HBO Plus. Yeah, because Mandriel was saying it was on HBO Plus. So I'm gonna get that. Just so I could watch Tenet. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry I haven't done it. I keep saying I'm gonna do it. I apologize, guys. I'm gonna have to start writing everything down. I'm gonna need, pretty soon I'm gonna need an assistant. I'm gonna need an assistant, yo. But I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna. I wish I could just buy that movie or just rent that movie online just to watch it the one time. I hate the fact that I'm gonna have to go get HBO Plus just so I can see it. But there's a lot of good stuff on HBO that I haven't seen in a while. I go like Boardwalk Empire and the Newsroom or whatever. I can, if I do get get it, get the intro thing, pay for it, watch what I need to watch, and then shut it down. I'm probably gonna have to do that. But I wish there was an all-in-one app. Yeah, bro, I do. I wish it was one way we can just kind of watch what you want to watch and just, pay for use. Like, okay, I love the fact that you can go on Amazon and just rent a movie and watch it. Or in some cases, you might have to buy it. Like, it's $5 to buy the movie or buy the series. All right, give me I'll buy it just to watch it. I wish you could do that. Eventually, we probably will have that option. But I digress, man. I digress. See, but Dino always has me talking about movies and TV shows and stuff, man. That's not what we're here to talk about, y'all. What are we here to talk about? We are here to talk about relationships, bro. Should the government get out of the marriage business, man? I think they should. That's my take on it. I believe government should get out of the marriage game. So why are we talking about this? Because I had a show lined up. I wanted to react to just one brother out of London, out of the UK, Kit. It's like something, up with Kit or something with Kit. He's basically a male dating coach for females. I'm gonna react to it probably tomorrow, but I wanted to do it today. But I decided to go with this because someone I'm close to like had a problem with my take on this topic, and they were saying that I am anti-relationship. I'm anti-marriage. I'm not. I want to be clear on this. I am not anti-relationship. Relationships are amazing. Anyone who watches this platform, I say this all the time. Fellas, if you choose the correct man, she is going to 1,000x your life. I think that's the secret to success. Women, I'm sorry, fellas, if you get the correct woman, sorry guys, fellas, if you get the correct woman, she will 1,000x your life. And women, if you get the correct men, if you choose wisely, you will have a great life. I truly believe that. I have no problem with relationships. I have no problem with marriage. I think marriage is something between individuals, their religion, their church, or however they're going to do it. My problem is with the laws that govern marriage here in this country. That's my problem. People are getting wrecked. Families are being destroyed. Yeah, I mean, it's horrific. And this product is being pushed and backed by the state and federal government. And I don't understand why. So, and what I mean by that is I don't understand how the government can push such a bad product on its citizens. They're like, you need to get married. Marriage is the great thing. It's the foundation, blah, 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 blah. But here are the stats, right? This stuff don't work. Yeah, we all agree that 50% of marriages don't work. People just accept that number. But when you really get into it, is 50% we talk about this all the time. 50% of marriages end in divorce. But when you add unhappy marriages, sexless marriages, people who stay together for the kids or because they don't want to split up all their stuff, another 20%, right? So you're up to 70%. Some argue 80+% of that's the failure rate. And you got other people on the other side like, well, those numbers are just inflated. All right. Right. Okay. All right. They're inflated, huh? There is a multi-billion-dollar industry that has sprung up around the laws governing divorce, the laws governing, custodialship, parentage, all that kind of stuff, kids, custody. People are making a killing. Don't take my word for it. Go out there and talk to the attorneys who are making that money. It used to be the criminal law was the best way to make money, man. And then like mergers and acquisitions. But now I think it's family court. They're making a killing. So, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, yeah, 1 for 34, like, get that stick, bro. Man, I'll be trying not to, man, but I might have to, bro. I might have to. And Brother Dino, like 10 at $3.50 to rent on Amazon Prime in UK. Yeah, but it's a different market over here. It's off the market over here. And that's what I was hoping to do. Like, I was going Amazon Prime, rent that for like, over here probably be like $5. And I just watch it. It'd have been great, but it's not on there. And I've been trying to find it. So HBO Plus is where I'm told. I'm gonna check again, maybe because they update their catalogs on Amazon Prime. So maybe in this latest update, maybe over here they re-added Tenet. And if they did, I'll watch it tonight if it's on there. Brother Jack, YouTube does it too with movies and theaters. That's the only good thing COVID did. LOL. Funny. Brother Pitney's in the building. What's good, fam? Pitney Jules. Yes, they should. That's it. That's the podcast. Right. Right. That's funny. But we talk about this, right? The red pill world has their take, the manosphere has their take on marriage. You know what I mean? Then you have those people who are pro-marriage or whatever, and most of those people come those traditional type folks, and they come out of the religious, segments of our community, of our society. They say you should do it. I was talking to my man Jay Swans about this, man. We must have been on the phone 3 hours talking about this. It was like, no. I'm like this. I don't understand how the government is going to back a product that fundamentally destroys Americans. I mean, just keeping it 100. Somebody's going to get wrecked. And then it's the children. The children that they're tossed up into this thing and it's all messed up. It's the laws are just messed up. We don't need to be doing it the way we do it. There should be some changes, and this product is bad. So, and we did a show a couple days back. I did a YouTube short about it. When you have an attorney who says, if in law, if you have a product, and I don't know if this is true or not, he just said it and I love it. But he was like, if you have a product that fails as much as marriage does, that is the textbook definition of negligence. It was like, yo, like the government is selling and pushing and backing a gross negligent product. It's like, yo, is that a real thing? Somebody should be suing the government. Start suing the states, right? So, but I mean, I get it. When you hear stuff like that, right? I get it. When he said that, I put it right through the old
think tank arch. Nothing gets past the old think tank. Nothing.
And he's right. Like, he has a point. And it's like, well, why won't the government do anything about it? Well, maybe the government's making money off of it. So why would they stop the gravy train? That's why. Everyone knows you get wrecked. There's the possibility you can get wrecked. And if you start running the numbers, what's the, what percentage of people actually ride off into the sunset and live happily ever after? Somewhere between 25 and 30%. So, okay. So the rest of the people are getting wrecked in some way, shape, or form. So we're going to get into it. But again, I wanted to start off by saying I am 100% for relationships. We are humans. We need that. Relationships are extremely important. And I do not have a problem with marriage so long as it's between the church and the people, whatever. Like that's over there. That's over there. I simply argue that government should get out of the business of marriage. That's my argument. Shouldn't be backed by the government. If two people want to go out there and take their chances, fine. So we're gonna get into this. We're definitely gonna get into this. And people are like, well, the red pill, whatever. Again, y'all know my take on red pill. Yeah, I consider myself red pill. Just like in the movie, I'm unplugged. I can see the world for what it truly is, man. I see the code. And I accept it. Simple as that. So me, Jay Swans and I got into it, and the whole point was Jay Swans was like, yeah, man, you should tell these young guys to go get married. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I can't. I'm gonna tell you, yeah, you need to think about that, bro. Don't do it. Why? Why set yourself up for failure like that? Don't do it. But Jay Swan's like, well, just explain to them what it is and then let them take that risk with full knowledge of, how bad it could be. Okay. I want to teach them. Let's teach them the risk. I'm going to teach you all the risk. And I'm saying, I don't think you should do it. But if you do it, knowing how bad it could go for you, don't come crying if it don't work. That's my thing. Don't come running over here right to the manosphere. Don't be running over there to the red pill or black pill or whatever. Don't be crying. You knew what you were getting yourself into. That's the bottom line. I'm like, all right, so that's where me and Jay Swans, we were kind of, everything else we pretty much agreed on, but that one part right there was like, nah, bro, I'm not telling young dudes to go get married unless he's a brokey. Now, if you're a brokey, if you got nothing and someone who has something wants to marry you and take you out of your mom's basement and bring you into their home and, provide you with a car and a, social life and nice clothes and all that stuff, then by all means get married. Absolutely. If you're a brokey dude, man, but you tall or whatever, you got a nice body, whatever, your joystick is amazing. She just wants to be married to you. Go out there, buy her a ring that's so small, she's gonna need the James Webb Space Telescope to see that diamond. Go get her a diamond because that's all you're gonna afford because you're a brokey. Get down on one knee, ask her to marry you, and she says yes, and then move into her 6-bedroom mini mansion with her 4-car garage, right? And her you know what I mean? Like his and her bathrooms and masters and all this other kind of stuff with the pool on the nice pool deck on the lake or whatever. You know what I mean? With your boat. Yeah. If she's willing to let you walk into that life, absolutely get married. Boy, get married. And if you don't want to marry her, man, call me. I'll marry her. Right? Go ahead and do that. If you a brokey, if you won't have anything, if you don't have any really prospects, if you ain't trying to do nothing, and someone wants you to marry them and they have all that stuff, man, go do it. You cannot lose in that situation. You cannot lose. But if you have something or you plan to have something, if you out there working on yours, then you need to think about it. You need to think about it. Yeah, you can do a prenup. Yeah, you can do a postnup and all that. I was talking to my buddy Perry Davis. He's an attorney out of Ohio, very, very knowledgeable, been in the business forever. He's like, yeah, prenups work, but you have to do them a certain way. They have to be done properly. So, so if you're going to do that, go get your lawyer right away. And then you better hope she signs the prenup. And if she doesn't sign the prenup, you better be willing to walk away from that. So that is my take on that. My bad, guys. I had to look over here. Some people are hitting me up. All right, cool. Nothing crazy. But that's my thing on that. If you are a brokey, man, go ahead and get married. But if you have something to lose, you need to think about it. And women, I'm talking to y'all too. Women, talking to y'all. If y'all got something to lose, you need to think about it. If you just some beautiful woman, you're brokey, you really ain't got nothing but your beauty, and some dude comes along, he's a millionaire, Prince Charming comes along, sweep you off your feet, he's gonna marry you, put a ring on it, he's not gonna have you sign any documentation. Absolutely get married. Absolutely get married. Don't hesitate. You can't lose. The way the laws are set up today, in that scenario, you can't lose. Like I said, the family court doesn't care about gender. It only cares who has the resources, who makes the money. That's all they care about. Who do we take this money from? They know who they're going to give it to, right? Who are we going to take the money from? That's how that works. Perry was on his very platform talking about that. It's like, yeah, he had a female client who filed for divorce, had her do, but she was making way more money than her husband. Her husband was making about $100,000. She was making about $300,000, $400,000, whatever it was. Right? She had over $1 million in her 401k, in her retirement plan. She had, all the property and everything. She had bought all that. So when the divorce came down, the guy got the house. The guy got half of her retirement, right? I think it was $2 million. No, I think it was $1 million, and he got 500,000 of it. That guy was all broken up, and he was all crushed and hurt, heartbroken because his wife wanted to divorce him, right? Because 70 to 80% of the time, women initiate divorce. She she's like, all right, let's go get divorced. Let's do all this. And she lost her house and she lost half of her pension. And old boy was like, you know what? This isn't so bad after all. This isn't so bad after all. He was a brokey in that situation. Not to say it was broke. He was in the top 15% of earners in America. But in that situation, he was the broker. He was the one who had less. She took him to court thinking, I'm about to show him. The court was like, which one of y'all got the money? She does, Your Honor. Fine, we're taking that and giving it to him. Oh, that house, that's his now. Y'all better be careful. Women are out earning their male counterparts in major cities in America. The trend has begun. It's starting to happen. Women are in college in higher numbers and completing college in higher numbers than men. Right. And again, we all know you got a college degree, you're going to make more money over your lifetime of employment. It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. So when people look at me like, man, you just a red pillar and you just hating women, I'm like, man, if you will, ladies, if y'all listen to me, I'm gonna put you up on game too. I see the code for what it is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If I was a fighter, I'd be DL Neo Saint, right? Because for real, I'm Neo in the Matrix. I see it. I see the code. I'm one of the many Neos, right? I'm one of the ones. I see the code, bro. It is what it is. I see the way it's shifting. So no, I can't tell a young person who's worked their butt off to get to wherever they're gonna be to go ahead and get married and be prepared to lose half of that. And not even the financial part of that. Be prepared to have your family ripped apart and have to fight to get access to your children. Right? Have to go out here and figure out what you're going to do with your life because people are just taking from you. Come on now. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You feel me? Appreciate that, Brother Jack. Last good man Jersey's in the building. What's up, Brother Gene? What up, fam? Stopping by, drop a like, man. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that's what it is, y'all. So I do not have a problem with relationships. I do not have a problem with the institution of marriage. I simply have a problem with the laws that govern marriage in this country, in most of developed nations, most first world Western nations. I got a problem with that. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. Red pill talking point. You're going to sign a contract in which one person is incentivized to break. That is not a contract you want to sign, right? So we're going to, Zuby was out here, like, shout out to Zuby. That's a cool brother. Never met the brother, but that's a cool brother. I hope to bump into him one day. We have a lot of new mutual associates, as we continue in this, YouTube world. Hopefully I bump into the brother. Seems like a real sharp brother. I like his style. He's mellow, he's laid back, and not only does he understand the Matrix, quote unquote, not only does he understands how the world is, he doesn't reject it. He sits down and he pushed it through the think tank and he was like, all right, I see the points. I see the points on both sides, and this is how I'm going to move. I understand why this is. So there are two videos that Zuby has that I definitely want to take a look at today. Let's pull up the first one. All right. And this first video is Zuby. He was on someone else's podcast. And it is Lila Rose podcast. I don't know who she is, but apparently she's very conservative. I just making that assumption from the conversation. But he posted this on his channel. Please go to Zuby and like and subscribe over there. Support this brother. Very, very smart guy. This guy held the world record for female deadlift or something like that, because he identified as a woman and then he broke the record and he began identifying back as a man again. Hilarious. You know what I mean? Feminist. Yeah, I need to. Yeah. Again, maybe one day I'll do a show about that. Having men compete with women because they identify as women, but they're born men, is only going to hurt women in sports. It's going to absolutely devastate female sports. They need to do something about that. Trans athletes should have their own lane. I mean, that only makes sense. That only makes sense. And I don't know why people fight it. And the people who are fighting it are not the athletes. They're not. Then you got this, I think there's a female boxer who challenged a male boxer pros to a fight, to a bout. Why did she do that? They shouldn't even allow that. And if they do, That's just not right, guys. That's just not right if they allow it. So let's check this out. They were talking about is the red pill wrong about marriage? This is about a 16.5-minute video. We'll see how far we get through it, but let's check this out.
And this is where, you know, I know in private conversations, you mentioned to me that you're interested in, you know, some of the quote, you know, what people call the red pill stuff that's kind of been going on out there, right?
Yet.
But
Yeah.
Why do you think so many young men and even a lot of young women are afraid of marriage? It's because they saw it fail for their parents. They saw it fail for their parents' friends. They saw these big prominent situations where this happened. Oh wow, like that super successful guy got even he couldn't make it work, you know, and he's done this and he's got that.
I was literally gonna say it's like the daddy and the mommy and the divorce wounds, because we were talking offline about some of these kind of leaders in this red pill or adjacent red pill worlds. And I hear, you know, like Andrew Tate as an example is very public about it. You hear him talking about his childhood and you're like, whoa, it's pretty rough. And the dynamics between like his parents.
You know, a lot of people who are pro-marriage, like really on board, like you should be married and this and that, it all stems from what they're talking about, their background, their upbringing, what they were around when they were growing up. That makes sense. I didn't come out of that world. I did not come out of a world where everyone was married and happily married and this and that. I came out of a world where it was different. And she mentioned Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's background, we listened to his stories about, you know, his upbringing was different. You know, his mom and his dad, different. Right? There are people out there who don't, you know, they don't know their dad. Some of them don't know their mom. Some of them raised by, they don't know their mom or dad, raised by their grandparents or aunts or uncles. Or they have one or the other and they have to split household thing. And I mean, it's just, or there's people who sat there, they were in the house and they just watch it go horribly wrong. Like, man, this is terrible. Right. So you got that. And you know, it makes sense. Yeah. It starts there. Like my reality, my bubble growing up is nowhere near what people would consider the regular or the norm in America. And I didn't figure that out until I was in my late 20s. I didn't figure that out until I got out of my situation, got into a career that took me to the other side of the continent. And then I'm working with people from that bubble. And all of them had a shared background. They all kind of came up the same way, which is way different from mine. Way different. And they're all like, got to get married and this and that. I'm like, why do that? You know, they were all like, you got to get a registered weapon. Why do that? Like, who has registered guns? What are you going to do with a registered gun when you use it? The police going to come right to you. Their eyes got this big. They could not believe what I was saying. And it was at that moment I realized, like, maybe the way I grew up was different than theirs. Like maybe the way we grew up wasn't the way you're supposed to grow up. You feel me? So what they're talking about makes a lot of sense. You know, you look at Tom Brady in his situation. Bro, Tom Brady did everything right. I don't think there's any negative press about him going out there womanizing after he got married. There was, you know, look, the guy was extremely successful, one of the greatest of all time in his sport, kept himself together. He played professional football for what, 22 years, right? He dominated. He was good to his wife. He has kids. He was doing everything he's supposed to do, and she left him, bro. Like, think about that. She left him. But again, in that situation, she had more money than he did. So it didn't really hurt him that bad. Crazy, huh? Tom Brady was the brokey in that situation. But when you see stuff like that, like, why would I even try? If the laws are going to just let people poof, okay, I've had enough, I'm out. You feel me? So, and that's what they're talking about here. Like, so let's continue.
Parents, it just sounds like it's super dysfunctional.
Yeah. But I mean, I know he's framed it in a way that I know it motivates and drives him a lot, but I'm sure, you know,
but to what end, right?
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? Whether or not someone wants to admit it or consent to them, like there's people who you can very obviously tell how their childhood has affected them as an adult, right? There's people where it's more subtle, and they've gone on and they've been they've been successful and they've healed from certain problems and whatever. But on some level, it's still it can't not affect you.
Mm.
How can your parents' relationship and your family dynamics and your child, how can it not affect you?
Mm.
Right. And that's what we were just talking about. Yeah, it's going to affect you. Absolutely. It's going to affect you in a whole bunch of ways. There are people out there who weren't successful with their marriages, but their parents are extremely successful. And they will point to their parents' success and say, well, that's why my marriage failed, because mom and dad are so perfect. Mom and dad aren't perfect. They work through it. The biggest problem with relationships and marriage, again, the biggest problem with the laws, the way they're set up, is you can just walk away for any reason. No fault divorce. You can't defend against that. You just can't. You cannot defend against that. If you're, I'm the type of guy that if I was married to a very wealthy person, let's say I'm married to a woman, she's worth $200 million. I'm not taking anything from her. If the relationship doesn't work out, I'm leaving. I don't care. I don't want anything from her. I don't want anything. I didn't marry her for her money. I married her because I wanted to be with her. I married her because it's a free play for me. I don't want anything from her. I don't want spousal support. If I got the kids, I don't want child support. I'm not trying to take your house. Because if I met her, she had $100 million. What did I really do to help? Did she make another, $100 million while we were together? I don't want anything. And I don't even want, I'm still going to be in love with the woman. I don't want her to fail. I'm not trying to hurt her in any way. I just don't want to be around anymore. So I'm done. It's cool, baby. I'm moving on. But how many people are like that? Right? I guess people could argue, the red pill will argue that most people, when they're talking about women, most people are out to get you. I don't subscribe to that. But if they are out to get you, shame on you for not vetting them properly. How is it you didn't know they were out to get you, right? 2 years to vet somebody, at least 2 years. It's hard to hide who you are for 2 years. So shame on you. You feel me? So again, I don't have a problem with relationships. If I'm in a relationship and it's like the best relationship I've ever had in my life and only lasts 6 months, I'm going to be happy I had that 6 months. Perry Davis was talking about that. That's 6 months where I had that bliss. Like, real talk. As a guy who's been in and out of a couple relationships, not many, but I've had a few. And I'm telling you, man, there is no better feeling than to come home to a person that loves you as much as you love them. Like, she got your back, you got her back. Everything is kosher. You feel me? There's no better feeling. There's no better feeling. And if it only lasts 6 months, 6 years, whatever, man, it's still the greatest feeling ever. When it's over, yeah, it's going to hurt. It's gonna hurt, bro. If it does end, it's gonna hurt, man. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. You do something stupid, or she does something stupid. It is what it is. But neither party should be crushed financially because of it, right? You just might wake up one day 6 years later and she's like, you know what? I just don't love you anymore like I used to. I want out. I didn't cheat on you. I'm not trying to cheat on you. I don't want to be with you anymore like that. Yeah, it's gonna hurt to hear. It's gonna hurt to hear. That sucks. But it shouldn't be a financial component on top of that, in my opinion. And of course, you got people who, if you guys came together and y'all built something from the ground up, y'all went from 0 to 100 million. Yeah, 50 million goes to her. 50 million. It's only fair, right? That makes sense. If she wants it, 50 million goes to you, baby. We ain't even tripping, right? No need to pay anybody else. But if she comes in there like, I want the whole 100, right now you got to fight. And a lot of that comes from spite, and the laws allow people to attack that way. When it's not even about the money, it's just about, I want to hurt you now. It's just about spite. Like, look, you divorcing me. You mad at me because your emotions are out of whack and you coming after me like this. You see what I mean? It wrecks people. And this is the problem I have with marriage, the laws. Like I said, relationship, marriage, and then the laws. I'm cool with relationships. I'm cool with marriage. And I'm talking about the thumbnail. I'm cool with relationships. I'm cool with marriage. I got a problem with the laws. Let's continue.
Right. That doesn't even make sense. It can affect you in positive ways and negative ways. Like, most people, it's going to be some type of combination of these things, but it's going to impact how you see the world. It's going to impact how you see relationships. It's going to even impact what you may aspire to. right? Because if you're from a big healthy family with lots of intact marriages and cool, like this is a great dynamic. I want to do the same thing. That's my situation. I'm blessed. But I'm also, my family has become something, a bit of an anomaly, which is a massive shame, right? Like if I tell people about my parents, like one of the most common questions I get is, oh, your parents still together? And I'm like, isn't it sad that we live in a society where it's almost assumed that your parents are probably not together anymore? Like,
and here's the thing, bro. Going back to Bubbles, where I came from, where I came up, not only will we be like, first of all, it's like, your parents are still together. It's like, your parents were married? Like, what? There's people out there that are like, wait, you know your parents? You know your mom? You know your dad? It starts there. Right? Like I said, there's people who were raised by their relatives, man, raised by grandma, raised by aunties or uncles. It's like, yo, you know your parents? You know your mom? You know your dad? And then you're like, what? They were married? And then it's like, and they are still married? You see how the levels can pile up. Where I'm from, marriage was such a foreign concept. Like, it's just so foreign, especially a successful marriage. I mean, for real, I can count on my hands how many successful relationships, marriages I've seen in my life. Talking about where I'm from, I can count them on my hands, bro. Whereas there's people from other worlds, other bubbles, they're like, bro, they like, I can count divorces on my hand, with their parents. Now, divorce seems to be the thing. Now it's like, you got generations from Gen X on. It's like, yeah, people, I guess in the 80s, divorce started becoming the big thing. And then into the 90s, it got crazy out of control. And like today, again, why even get married? You look at the divorce rate now, it's like insane. Right. And so for him to say, he was saying, your parents are still together. I'm like, shit, bro, you know your mom and your daddy, they live together. They married. Right? It goes a whole nother direction. Brother Michael's in the building. What's good, fam? Please hit the like button. Yes, thank you for reminding me that, brother. Please like and subscribe. I'm supposed to say that, man. My people be getting on me. Man, you don't be saying it enough, man. You got to say like and subscribe. If you ain't going to say it, make a bubble that comes up and says it. I'm like, all right. So please like and subscribe, folks. For y'all, you Ninja Watchers out there, welcome. All the new people, welcome. I'm DL Saint, and this is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. We also do Downrange podcast. That's our political channel, right? So thank y'all so much. And thank you, brother, for that. Appreciate it. So let's continue.
Like, it is such a privilege. My parents are still together too.
Yeah, but
we are privileged, Zuby.
That used to be the norm not
I know,
so long ago.
That's what's sad.
That's what I'm saying is that's what's sad, right? When I say that, I'm like, people, I'm like, oh no, my parents have been together almost 50 years. People are like, wow, that's amazing. You're so lucky. You're so fortunate. You're so privileged. I'm like, yeah, but should that be the case? Like, isn't that the point of marriage? Like, isn't it meant to be you stay together and stuff like that? So this has a massive impact on the psyche of younger generations. And I think this is a part that is rarely brought into these conversations because, conservative people, especially, obviously, very, very, pro marriage, pro family. They want, why won't these young men just man up and marry women and do this? I'm like, you don't understand. Like, these guys are scared.
And rightly so. Rightly so. Why don't you just man up and get married? Well, why don't she just woman up and sign this daggone prenup? Right? Why don't we all just man up and why don't we just, as a society, step up and change these ridiculous laws? People get married. I believe that people get married. I used to put this all on women, but you know what? I have to put it on men too. People get married for the wedding. Let's keep it 100. They're not trying to have a relationship. They want a wedding. They want the attention. They want the spotlight. You got the whole bridezilla, groomzilla, and all that kind of stuff. That's what they're doing. Dr. B's in the building. What's good, fam? I see you. Yeah, that's Zuby, man. That's Zuby. Definitely win Zuby. You know what I mean? Like I said, I love the way this brother handles his business. Brother Dino, you did build wealth with marriage. You did. And it was hard to get divorced. And it was, remember when it used to be shame? It was frowned upon to get divorced. Like the church it was hard to get a divorce through the church, especially the Catholic Church. That has all gone away. And you have people who are not there for the relationship. They are not there to build together. They're there for the wedding. They want it to be all lollipops and candy canes. And when you get in there, you realize, man, it ain't all lollipops and candy canes. Sometimes it's prunes and castor oil. It's rough. Relationships are hard. Romantic relationships are very difficult. Business relationships are very difficult. Work relationships are difficult, right? And I'm talking about just working, just coming into the office or whatever. Relationships take work. Love only lasts so long. That butterflies in your gut type of love, that the rush, the excitement, the tingles and all that only lasts so long. And it transforms. If you put in the work, it transforms into something else. You feel me? But people don't want to do that. The relationship never gets the chance to transform. Why? Because they rushed out because they wanted that wedding, went into debt for that wedding. Man, our wedding was fire. It was lit. You know what I mean? Look what we did. We spent $100,000, $50,000, $80,000 on this wedding. Get divorced and still owe on the wedding. Imagine that. You get divorced. Y'all working out who's going to have to pay for what in the divorce court settlement. People don't want to put the work in, bro. They don't want to put the work in, brother. Dr. B is right. Wedding is the peak of validation and attention for women and men too, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. There's some dudes out there to be on that, bro. There's some dudes out there to be on that. Just keeping it 100. But yes, definitely for women. Definitely. But there's some dudes out there, man. It blows me. You know what I mean? Ooh, pause. I didn't mean to say it like that. But it blows my mind. It's what I was trying to say. My bad. Brother Penny Zuby is a cool cat. He's definitely aware of the Matrix. Facts. And Brother Michael ADL, Fresh and Fit premiere going on right now. Yeah, I saw that, man. They had Troy Francis on there, man. I'm like, it's a Thursday. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And it's a premiere too. It's not live. It's a premiere. Huh. But I mean, it is what it is. You can catch it in team replay if you're over here. He's like, just keep you informed, fam. I ain't mad at you, bro. I saw that, though. I saw the trailer. I mean, I saw the thumbnail. I'm like, wait, ain't today Thursday? But maybe they're traveling. I don't know what's going on. I thought Troy Francis was in Vegas. Him and Saucecast, Adam Sosnick are out there because I saw a thumbnail for Michael Sertain's show. So I don't know. Maybe they're traveling. Oh, Dr. B said it's an old episode. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, Troy Francis. It just, that makes sense, bro. It's a rerun. Got it. I'm pretty sure they're probably over there doing some, maybe they're, taking the platform in a different direction. Maybe they're working on something. I don't know. Scam Likely show is here. That's what's up, bro. Scam Likely is in the building, guys. Dusto is here. And he's ready to start his thing on YouTube, man. So go over there and check him out, man. And this is a real show, guys. It's not him trolling. It's a real show. Definitely want to get out there and check that out. But relationships, y'all, take a tremendous amount of work. A lot of people are like, what you know about that, Saint? You ain't really been out there like that. Like, I've had a few relationships, and when I've tried it, I'm all in, right? And it takes a tremendous amount of work. It takes patience. You have to endure through the bad stuff. I understand these things. So when people rush into marriage, especially when you have this no-fault divorce thing, I'm telling you, this is how people get wrecked. And folks like, oh, this marriage isn't working right. I know, let's have kids. Oh my God. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's going to make everything all better. Right? You know what I mean? Oh, that's going to make it all better. No, man. Look, and the scam was like, there will still be some trolling on my show. I bet, bro. I bet, because them trolls gonna come after you, bro. You got a show now? Yeah, I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching that. But yes. Relationship and marriage, I ain't no problem with that. I'm gonna keep hammering this as long as we on this stream. I don't have no problem with that. It is the laws that is the problem in this country, and that's why government should get out of the business of marriage, or they should get out of the marriage business. Let's continue.
They are scared of signing a contract with the government, with a woman, that there is especially when you have these no-fault divorce laws, and they've heard all these horror
Because
stories
it's
and these and this.
70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think is the number.
Yeah, the majority, right?
And that's the whole message, right, of
Mhm.
some of the red pill adjacent
Mhm.
folks who are saying, don't get married.
Yeah.
She's just going to divorce you and take your kids, and so sleep with different women but still be
Mhm.
successful. So in a way, their hatred of monogamy stems from betrayal.
It's not even. It's not even hatred of monogamy. It's just like, okay, if you were if you removed the love element, if you remove the love element, right, and this is a contract you're signing, and you know that statistically in your country 40 to 50% of these contracts fail, and the other party initiates the breakup 70 to 80% of the time. You'll hear these stats a lot in red pill circles. Would you sign that contract? Right?
Well, if it's funny because it's
The answer is no. She would not sign that contract, man. This is the part that gets me. They want to talk about the extremism that's over there in the manosphere of the red pill world, but they're just as extreme on the blue pill side of this, right? This is everybody falls into their teams. They don't want to be wrong. They don't want to acknowledge things, right? It's like, come on now. Who would sign that contract? Who would sign that contract? Dumb dudes. Dumb dudes. That's who. And when they say, the talking points, don't get married, just go out there and womanize forever. I've said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it. The average dude does not want to spin plates. The average American guy wants to be in a committed monogamous relationship. He wants it so bad that he will accept his woman sleeping with other dudes, this whole poly thing. You're like, well, I can't have her all to myself, but at least she's mostly mine, and then she just go out there and get her back blown out every now and then, but she loves me. That's the average dude just wants one woman. One woman. That's it. The average American wants one woman. That's one of the things, like when I get into real relationships, I can honestly say this without fear of being struck by lightning. I have never cheated. Ever. I have never cheated. When I sit down with a woman, like we're going to be together, we had that conversation, that's it. That's my woman. That's it. I get rid of everyone else. I've done that at least half a dozen times when I got rid of my rotation just for one woman. Right? That's what dudes really want. A lot of dudes in the manosphere area, in the red pill world, they're over there because they got wrecked somehow in some sort of relationship. They got blindsided. They came over and they come over looking for answers. So when you hear these talking points, they conflate a lot of them. Red pill guys like, yeah, don't get married. Just go out here and do you. Go out here, make yourself the best version of yourself. Get your money, game, and frame up. Go out here and do good for you. And while you're out here messing around, smash you some chicks so you can understand how the game works. And then if you want to marry someone, vet her properly, and then finally go ahead and marry her. Make sure you get a prenup if you got that kind of bread. You know what I mean? And again, if you're a brokey, don't worry about it. But if you're doing all that work, you're not going to be a brokey. So I just, when I hear those people on the other side and they're like, yeah, you're just telling them to be womanizers and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, nah, man, we showing them the way. We're showing them the way to their self-worth. We're showing them the way to become more attractive to women. Like it or not, the majority of women don't see 80% of guys. So just for men, it's a struggle just to be seen, let alone having the social skill set to entertain her, to be able to approach her and her girls, to be able to look the way you're supposed to look, smell the way you're supposed to smell. All that other, it's so much you have to do to be attractive to a woman. And, most women don't understand that. And it's all good. It's all good. You feel me? So, like, it is what it is, Dr. B. Spending place is cool for a period of time, but it's like having a full-time job. Facts, bro. Facts. People are like, how come you ain't out here doing it now? Like, man, I ain't got time for that, man. Rich Cooper, man. The juice is not worth the squeeze. He is not lying. Spinning plates, man, is a full-time job, bro. It is a full-time job. There's dudes out there who tell lies and they got to keep up with their lies. I never did that. I told them what time it was. This is what it is. This is how many, you're one of however many, 5, 6, or 7, whatever it is. This is what it is. Come through when I call you. If you don't want to come through, whatever. Sometimes you might catch me on the humble. You can call me and be like, I want to come over. Okay. But it's constant. It's constant. You get tired of it, bro. It's endless. It's pointless. You get tired of it. But for those who've never had any, man, they're like, man, that's crazy talk. I'll never get tired of that. All right. All right. Well, let's get you in here, man. Let's get you squared away. Let's get you trained up, turn you loose on the world. And you'll come back in 5, 10, 15 years like, bro, you right. This shit is tiresome. Like, this is tiresome. I mean, Dr. B was like, yeah, and being seen is crucial to even be a romantic option. Yeah, you got to be seen, bro. If you see, come on. I talk to women about this all the time. Like, y'all don't see most men. I see every man. No, you don't. No, you do not. That dude that was stacking water in CVS, he wants to take you out. Can he take you out? I mean, he works at CVS. Exactly. You ain't even see him. Come on now. Night is in the building. What's good, fam? Shout out to you. And it is what it is. I'm not mad. And that's one of the things when I talk to young brothers and old dudes out here in this world, in these trenches, when they come holler at me, I tell them, like, bro, don't be mad at them, man. Do not be mad at women for doing what they do. Just understand it's a thing. Move accordingly. Don't be mad, man. Don't hate the players, hate the game.
It's like, did you know that X amount of people die from heart disease? Why don't you just end yourself now? Because you might die. Because it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
No, it's not, because in this you have there's so many alternatives. Right?
Well, the best alternative is like mate selection, because when you shake it out, you look at people that go to church weekly. You look at people that didn't cohabitate before marriage, that didn't sleep around before marriage. High success rate. So
but what percentage of people is that?
It's a small percentage because few people are willing to, few people have that.
See, Zuby's just keeping it 100. He's like, yeah, you're right, baby, you're right. But she was like, well, people die from heart disease, so why don't you just go ahead and kill yourself? Listen, babe. People sign up for marriage. Who's signing up for heart disease? Who is walking in there and signing a contract saying, yep, I'm going to take this chance of getting heart disease? People who smoke cigarettes, unhealthy life. Someone who's perfectly healthy, who's going to walk up and like, yeah, I'm going to sign this contract and I'm accepting the risk that there's an 80% chance that I'm going to get heart disease and die. Who's signing up for that, shawty? That's what I would have said. Like, come on, baby, you signing up for that? Come on, love. Keep it 100. You signing up for that. Right? Genetic linked diseases or diseases that whatever that you may have gotten, health problems you may have gotten through a lifestyle choice or something like that is not the same as signing up for a marriage as a man. It's not the same. It's not the same. But you hear that all the time. Let's continue.
That vision. I don't even think it's a self-control thing, because I think people can apply self-control where they choose. I think it's a vision, that this is a vision worth fighting for and applying my self-control to. But the problem is they are not educated. Like most people don't even know that you are more likely to divorce if you cohabitate. Most people do. They think by cohabitating, they're actually staving off
test run and make sure it all
That's
works.
exactly the argument.
Yeah. And from a logical perspective, it sounds right. It sounds like
kind of.
But you think it's not an obvious statistic.
Perhaps, yeah, especially in today's culture.
Yeah, it's not an obvious statistic that if you cohabitate prior, then statistically But I was going to say that vision and that desire, and so much of that. This is my point. So much of that comes from your family. Yeah, your family, seeing it, living it. You're one of 8, right? Your parents. How long have your parents been together?
We just celebrated 40 years.
40 years.
As a family, the whole family got together.
Amazing.
All the grandkids, all 8 kids and spouses, and one boyfriend, I think, was there for one unmarried sibling, but all to celebrate. By the way, they slept in separate rooms, because it's like we're traditional. It's like but you live a certain way, and you see this fruit, like
and you want to replicate that,
and you now you see the dysfunction. No family is perfect. My family is not perfect. My marriage is not perfect. We're figuring things out, but towards
that part right there, she said it real fast. My marriage isn't perfect. We're figuring things out, bro. When I hear that from a woman, we're figuring things out, that means you're on your way to being divorced. And there's nothing wrong with that. She's like, my marriage isn't perfect. She's holding her relationship, her marriage to the same standard of her parents. Like, I want that. That has to have produced a tremendous amount of pressure on her spouse. You're not like my dad. You're not, come on, we got to do that. And I don't know anything about this woman. I don't know who she is, but there has to be a tremendous amount of pressure on her. And as the marriage is starting to go down that rocky road, that's even more pressure. Like, I can't be the one in the family who fails. So I'm going to triple down, quadruple down, and continue to push this dude away in the process. Like she said, we're working things out, man. That's cold for like, yeah, it's just, it's almost over. I hope it works out for her. I never wish separation or divorce or failed relationship on anybody. But here's the thing. If he's the breadwinner, if he's the dude that had the money, if she gets to a point or they get to a point, it could be mutual. Let's say they get to a point like, this really isn't working. We're not happy. Let's go ahead and just end this. Who's going to get wrecked? Whoever has the money. Now, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. And let's just say that, that's a real person, and her spouse, they decided to end it, and they just do it amicably. Just, okay, you take this, I'm going to take that. This is how we're going to do it with the kids. We're going to still work together as a team and blah, blah, blah. Man, wouldn't that be great? That would be great. Does that happen a lot? It does not. Sadly, it does not happen a lot. But people, grown-ups back in the day, these traditionalists, these people who push marriage, they don't stay together like their parents did and the grandparents did and so on. They talk about the traditional days like, bro, you couldn't get divorced. You had to stick it out. Your husband would bring home a baby. You had to stick it out. You know what I mean? You find out your wife was messing around with the pool boy. You had to stick it out. I mean, it was just one of those things. Society frowned on it. Society has changed. This is why I like Zuby so much, because he points that stuff out. Man, society has changed. It simply has changed. Scam like us, I agree with her. Of course you do. Like Brother Jack, 11 people in here, and we have like 2 likes. Make sure you like the video. Yeah, please hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate that. Young Knight, appreciate that. Brother Rush is in the building. What's good? The government will never stay out of marriage business. It's big business. Facts. I did say that, bro. They never will. They make about $1.2 billion a year. Yes. Just off child support. Yeah, we're not even talking about the lawyers who are making. I think the divorce business is like a $50 billion industry, and it might be higher than that. If you watch the movie The Red Pill, they talk about, was it The Red Pill? I think it was The Red Pill. Or no, it's a documentary out there. I think it's called Divorce Business, or the Business of Divorce, or something like that, or the Business of Marriage, something like that. And it talks about it. This documentary has got to be at least 10 years old. And they were saying it was a $50 billion industry back then. Life of Cash is in the building. What's good, fam? Yo, Brother Cash, man, the Knights are meeting on the 24th, 25th, the third Friday of every month. We meet at the International Mall at the cigar joint there. Hey, Jack, man, what's the name of our cigar bar again, man? Corona something. But Cash, man, you should come through, bro. You should come through. Brother Jack, if you out there, man, do me a favor, because I don't have a calculator. I don't have a calendar in front of me. I don't want to say the wrong date, but we meet the third Friday of every month, and we meet at this cigar bar inside, in the outside food area of the International Mall here in Tampa, man. It's just like King Corona. Thanks, brother. So come through. Anybody out here in the Tampa area? The New Templars meet every third Friday at King Corona. That's in the International Mall. King Corona now, International Mall. Don't go to the one in Ybor. There's one in Ybor. Don't go to that one. International Mall. You know what I mean? Yeah, like Sister Rosa sounded like Hafiz. Life is risky, so is marriage. Just do it right. Right. And my man Jay Swans was kind of on that, man. He was kind of on that. Man, like, me and him went around and around for 3 hours, bro. The better part of 3 hours today. The better part of 3 hours talking about this. But let's continue.
There's a certain end.
Yeah.
So we know we're working to get better together.
So you have to keep in mind that in this country alone, you know, hundreds of millions of people, that's not their experience.
Yeah.
So this is where the sort of red pill stuff comes from,
So what's the real answer?
right? Wow. I mean, the Christian answer is pick up your Bible and, you know, follow everything in there. It's hard, you know. Lila, I'd love to have a clean answer on this one. I would be lying if I said I have a totally clean answer. I think marriage needs to be. I do think marriage laws need to be changed.
Make it more difficult to divorce for no fault.
The truth is, okay, if you are a young, successful man or a man who's going to be young and successful, and you do not have a religious or traditional upbringing and outlook in life, the incentive structure for state-sanctioned marriage in the USA and many other countries is poor. The incentive.
Did y'all hear that? I told y'all up front, I have yet to meet Brother Zuby in real life. I'm going to meet him one day. I'm pretty sure we will cross paths. This is why I rock with him. This is for him. It makes no sense for a young man today to get married in America or the West. It makes no sense. It is a bad deal. You must protect yourself. Again, unless you're a brokey, we already had that conversation. Zuby is not considered red pill. A lot of people might say, well, he's red pill adjacent or whatever. He's a realist. He put it through a think tank. It doesn't make sense. If you have a religious background, okay, yeah, I can see people trying it. But even then, like Life of Cash said, right? Life is risky, so is marriage. Just do it, right? Like Hafiz is talking that craziness, right? You know, Scam Mike is like, shout out to Hafiz. Hafiz left. You know what I mean? I hope his marriage works, but bro, I'm telling you, if he didn't vet that woman properly, he's gonna have some problems. He's gonna have some problems. You know what I mean? And that's what it is, Brother Rush, man. Appreciate that, man. It's we all get tied down in how things should be. Well, it should be this way, or wouldn't it be nice? This is idealistic, but that's not what's going on. I come from a world where we dealt with how it is, right? People shouldn't beat other people with metal poles and bats. They should not shoot and stab other people over Jordans, right? People shouldn't sell poison to other people, but they do every single day. That's the world. That's the red pill. If you can get out of that situation and you live somewhere that has a big gate around it and there's a bunch of other successful people living there, man, you got a clubhouse, that is great. You're living on a beach somewhere or a lake. Everybody got boats, right? If you step it up, everybody got airplanes. That is great. But most of us don't come from that world. It would be amazing if you had a family that's going to help you vet this woman and her family, and they're vetting, you're going being vetted by her family as well. Your family are helping you check her out. Her family is helping them check you out, and you guys go through that process. Man, that would be amazing, because that's how it happened back in the day. But if you go back far enough, you didn't even get a choice. You were told who you were going to marry. You fingers crossed, man. I hope she ain't fat. Fingers crossed. I hope she ain't ugly. Fingers crossed. I mean, and that was it, because it was straight business. So we're beyond all that now. You get to choose. And then people aren't even religious, so you don't even have that hanging over their heads. It's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. All right, this is cool. You know what? I don't like it no more. Boom, 7 years. It's been 7 years. Bye-bye. And like Zuby was saying, man, we got to change the laws. Got to change the laws. Right, Brother Rush, like, Hafiz better not get divorced. Bro, bro. Like I said, I never wish divorce or a failed relationship on anyone. It's just, man, it's hard to beat the odds, isn't it? It's hard to beat the odds. But if you properly vet, if you have the right folks around you, right? You know, like it not only does it take a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to also help you choose properly. If you have all that going for you, then I like your odds. You know what I mean? I like them. But boy, oh boy, oh boy. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, it really is. So let's go back and let's continue the video. Let's go.
There's not an incentive. So when people are there, you know, yelling at these young men to, hey, just get married, they're like,
Who's yelling at them, by the way?
No,
Because a lot of people in society
let me
saying,
not
don't get married.
Well, let me not say people are yelling
Yeah.
at them. Let's say, okay, the traditional conservative types
Okay.
who are telling these young men, why are you following Andrew Tate? Why are you listening to all these
Mhm.
guys? Why are you all with this red pill, whatever? You know, I don't like this.
I'm fine if they
right?
don't get married, provided they're
Uh-huh.
not sleeping around with women. Like if you choose celibacy
Yeah,
because of some
that's not
sort of noble
realistic.
purpose,
Yeah, it's not realistic.
Well,
It's not
realistic to be celibate.
for someone with no religious or
Oh, I see
traditional
what you're saying.
inclinations.
No noble
No.
cause they're fighting for.
No,
Yeah,
of
I see
course
that.
not.
Do you see how difficult it is for her to even think outside of her bubble? I don't have a problem with you being red pill. I don't have a problem with you not getting married. So as long as you stay celibate, how does that make any sense? And it's like, well, I'm traditional. Like, well, if you go back far enough, the Pope wasn't even celibate, but he told everybody he was. You look at what's going on here, you know, and I'm not trying to beat up on the Catholic faith, but come on now. Y'all know all the jokes about the choir boys in the church, right? In the Catholic church and the Catholic priest. Come on now. We all know the stories. The fact that I don't know if she can't fathom a world outside of her bubble, or she just doesn't want to think about the world outside of her bubble, because obviously she's a very intelligent woman. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. You know, we've all done that before. It's just, man, we just bury my head in the sand. You feel me? Like, it's crazy, Brother Pitney. Hafiz clearly couldn't handle the heat and the manosphere brought him. Glad he quit social media. Yeah, he did, man. He left, bro. He left. You know what I mean? He did left. Life of Cash talking about his sarcasm is hilarious. Brother Jack, men think with logic, women think with emotion. It's at its finest. Shout out Myron. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to deny that, isn't it? But she really doesn't want, and she's not the only one. We got another video up here, and it's a brother doing the same thing. A lot of the religious people, they're like, Jesus is the answer. Just do this and it'll work. Like, no, it won't. I came up in the church too. I know what's in the church, bro. And the people kill me with that. Well, just go to church. And now they're like, why don't you go to church? Because I don't feel like dealing with it. I'm like, bro, if you go to the hospital, what do you expect to find? A bunch of sick people. If you go to church, what do you expect to find? Sinners. I tell dudes all the time, bro, like that church game, I don't do it. I've never done it. I will never do it. But there are guys out there who don't share my moral set, and they will go up into the church and run through it because there's dimes in there, bro. Dimes in there, and they're vulnerable. If you go into the church, like my knowledge of the Bible, the King James Bible, man, listen. Man, listen. You could wreck shop in the church. And they got a lot of preachers are doing it. A lot of the deacons are doing it, especially in the black churches. And there's money in there too. These super churches, man, they're making millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions. Creflo Dollar flying around on jets. Is he still doing that, y'all? Guys walking around with $1,000 suits on, bro. Come on now. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Wonderful 34 is like, I believe women in society will fight to get married and stay married if the government would end the subsidies given to help families without male involvement. I agree with you 100%, bro. I agree with you 100%. It would fundamentally change the game. I agree with you 100%. A lot of people say, well, if the government got out the business of extracting the money and all that, you know, people just wouldn't women wouldn't get married. I think they would still get married. I think the divorce rate would go down. I think they would stop filing for divorce and just do their best to make it happen. I mean, Of course, we're not talking about the people who are dealing with like abusive situations and stuff like that. Of course, you should get away. If you're dealing with an abusive situation, male or female, if you're dealing with an abusive husband or an abusive wife, you should leave that situation ASAP. It's not worth it. You're putting your life at risk. You're putting your family at risk. Get out of that situation ASAP. Now, I haven't said that just for all the regular folk. You know what I mean? For all the regular folk, I think if you take the government out of, if the government gets out of the business of marriage, I do believe that the success rate I think the divorce rate goes down. I think more people get married would stay married. I think so. Scam likely. The manosphere is self-destructive, feminine, dustathon run by very modern women. They complain about. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Are there some destructive parts of the manosphere? Absolutely. Are there some destructive parts of the blue pill world, quote unquote? Absolutely. Mainstream media, absolutely. Right. But to say that the entire manosphere is self-destructive, no, I don't agree with that. Not at all. Not at all. Men are over there looking for answers, and there's some good answers over there. Are there some bad ones over there? Absolutely. But that's up to you as a man to distinguish between the two. Come on, Scam. You know how I move, bro. You know what I preach. You see how I get down. I'm part of that. So the fact that I'm a part of manosphere right there says it's not all destructive. It's not all self-destructive. You know, it is what we make it. That's how I look at it. I ain't life and casual, like no magic bullets or secret recipes for success. Nah, man, just hard work. Just hard work, man. So we'll listen to a little bit more of this. And then I had some stats and stuff that I was going to run, but I'm going longer than I thought. It's one more video. This is one brother who's very religious. Y'all know him when I pull him up. I don't know his name, but I've seen him everywhere. We got him on standby. It's also it's still on Zuby's channel. So let's continue.
They need a purpose.
Yes, exactly. So yeah. I think part of the problem is that there's this void here. I think that a lot of the traditional conservative types are not, I think oftentimes are genuinely not even aware of just how much the game has changed in the last few decades, right? Someone who's been,
men, especially, you're saying men,
the
disaffected man.
This social culture this society has changed, the culture has changed, the norms have changed, the technology has changed, some of the laws have changed, right? We're not living in the same world as our grandparents or our great grandparents. Where actually it was, yeah, sure, that also had its own problems, but it was it was cleaner and it was simpler, and it was just like, look, this is what you do. You get to this age, men get married, women get married, cool, like that's. It just functioned. Whereas now we're at this weird point where you've still got the traditional part, and you've got some of the religion and some of the ideals, but you're also in a society and a culture and a legal system which is quite hostile towards that. So many people don't even treat marriage. A lot of people don't even treat marriage seriously, right? Like part of the reason I'm not married yet, because I get people, Zuby, you should be married, like you're, whatever. And I'm like, part of the reason I'm not married is because I take it so seriously. To me, this isn't something like, oh, you know what, let me just marry this girl I like, and if it doesn't work out, like there's people who. But
I think that's a good thing.
I think it's good, but there's people who get married and they're going into it like, well, if it doesn't work out or one of us isn't happy, like we just go. And I'm like, well, what's the point of? To me, I'm like, well, what's the point of getting married if it's not permanent, right?
And what Zuby's saying makes sense to me. I would argue that it's not if, it's when. I think they go in and it's not, well, if it doesn't work out. And it's like, no, when this doesn't work out, I'll just get a divorce and I'll just move on. There are people out there already talking about their second and third marriages. Well, I'm pretty sure by my third marriage, I'll have it worked out. Like, damn, you're engaged to your first woman now. You talking about by your third marriage? The game has changed. Right? The situation on the ground has drastically changed. And a lot of these traditional people, they do not want to acknowledge that. They do not want to acknowledge it. And then you add to that the people, like Zuby said. Zuby said, I'm not married because I take it serious. That tells me one thing. Most of the women he's dealt with, he's like, bro, he know, like, man, these women ain't taking this serious. These women aren't taking this serious. They're not committed to a relationship. They don't want to be in a relationship with me. They want to be married to me. They want to have the wedding. Or like, oh, we'll make cute babies. Like, come on now. What about the day-to-day grind? All day, every day grind. When I look at people in relationships, it's like, yo, Your spouse should be willing to sacrifice as much as you're willing to sacrifice for them. That's the only way in my book it's going to work. If I'm with a woman and I love her, I'm willing to get up at 3 a.m. and I'm deathly sick with a flu and drive down the street to get her something. If she says I gotta have this, I'm willing to do that. Get out of my deathbed, drive down the street in a winter storm to get her something. And the flip side of that is she loves me enough that she won't let me do it. You feel me? And there are people out there who will let you do that. They just take full advantage of you. And people are like, well, that's what I mean. I'm like, well, you got to vet them out. You married her, didn't you? You got to vet her out, bro. It wasn't an arranged marriage. You're not doing it for your family. You got to vet them people out. But that's the only way it works. She has to be willing to experience discomfort and do what she doesn't want to do for you because she loves you that much, and you're willing to do the same thing. I'm willing to endure watching the Barbie movie because I love you that much, and she's willing to endure watch the Bengals beat the shit out of the Steelers. And she can't stand football because she knows that's what I want to do. She's going to wear the gear and everything. And yep, I'll go into the Barbie movie and put on a stupid pink cowboy hat because it makes her happy. And I know that she does all that stuff for me. You feel me? Hey, to me, that's what it means. I mean, everyone has their own version of what their relationship looks like. So I believe wholeheartedly in relationships. I even believe in marriage. It's just the laws need to change. And if the laws aren't changing, well, I got to move accordingly. I ain't marrying no brokies. I'm only going to marry. If I'm going to get married, I'm going to get married to a wealthy woman, right? Actually, I'm not even going to do that, but I'm just saying, you got to protect yourself, right? If she don't love you enough to sign a prenup, all right. You know what I mean? So, all right, don't get married. You're already smashing, like old girl was saying, well, they're already sleeping together, always doing it. Right. You're already getting what you want. If you're a dude, you smash it. She's like, well, you know, she lost the majority of her leverage right there. So it's just not the same. It's just not the same. Life and Casual is like, yeah, man, the phrase is starter marriage, man. That's crazy. Starter marriages. Brother Penny, society keeps telling young men to get married while women are really out here calling men starter husbands. Yep, starter marriages, starter husbands. Look at that, man. Real talk is crazy. We got to understand that this is what it looks like today on the ground. If you're a traditional woman with a low body count, you're out there trying to find yourself a good man, you need to be aware of this as well. Because guys are going to look at you like they look at the other women. So, you know, you definitely need to show your value. You definitely don't need to be sleeping with him. Don't listen to your girls. Go ahead, girl, just rock his world one time and then don't do it. Stick to who you are. I tell women this all the time. You know what I mean? Brother Cash is like relationships are like King Leonidas in the movie 300. Give him nothing, take from him everything. Facts. And Brother Rush, the laws will never change. There's not enough women paying alimony and child support yet. Brother Rush, yet. The laws are going to change. If we keep going the way we're going with our society, guys are going to continue making what they're making and less, right? And women are going to continue making what they're making and more. And women are going to choose to be with men, even though they're the breadwinners. They're going to try it because they're going to fall in love. They're going to want, I want it. I want the wedding. I want this. I'm going to pay for it. Whatever. Like I said, that dude's going to come up. He's going to give her a ring with a diamond so small, you're going to need the Hubble Space Telescope to see it. You're going to need the James Webb Space Telescope to see that diamond. But she's going to take it anyway and go buy herself her own 2-carat stone and put it in there. Right? She's going to get what she wants. And then she's going to want to walk away from it. She's going to want to divorce him after, 5 or 7 years or whatever, because he's not improving or whatever. He doesn't have ambition or whatever code they want to use. So they go to get divorced, and then they're going to have to pay out. And when enough women have to pay out, paying spousal support, losing a half of their pensions and their 401ks, losing their homes to a guy, right? When that starts happening in mass, the laws are going to change. Why? Women are more politically active than men. The laws can change right now. The laws could have been changed. If men would just come out and vote, men wouldn't do anything about it. Once this begins to affect women, men are going to be doing something about it. If a boss babe is married to a dude and he's at home raising the kids, right? He's in the house doing all that stuff. He's the stay-at-home dad, and she decides to divorce him, or he decides to divorce her. She's losing the house to him. He's getting the kids. She's paying alimony and child support. That's how the law works. It is. You can, again, talk to attorneys. We have my buddy Perry Davis on here talking about that very thing. That's how the law works. It's not gender biased in the family court system. It's who has the money and who doesn't. They're going after the bread. So once that begins to happen, bro, once that begins to happen, yeah, man, the laws are going to change, bro. I'm telling you. I remember Rollo Tomasi was on Fresh and Fit, man, about 1.5 years ago, and I sent in a super chat talking about this very thing. I was like, hey, Rollo, when women are making more money and they're starting to be the breadwinners and this and that, do you see the laws changing when they have to kick out alimony? And Rollo was like, nope. I'm like, he ain't thinking about it. Think about it. It's going to happen. I've been in family court. I've seen enough cases just sitting there waiting on my case. I see how the judges are ruling. From sea to shining sea. It's who has the money. You feel me? It's who has the money. Mark my words, y'all. It's going to change, right? Life of Cash says he read a stat that nearly 40% of wives are breadwinners, but alimony is paid by women 3% of the time. I saw that stat too. That was, I want to say like 10, 15 years ago. Wait till these numbers update, y'all. Let's keep watching it. I mean, they can't justify it in court, and you got attorneys coming in there. These attorneys are coming in there like, nah, case law. This is what the attorneys are doing. Case law. You can't, nope. That guy right there had to pay out all his alimony, child support. Again, Perry was just on this platform just a few days ago. He's like, nah, women are paying out. It's starting to happen. And I always point to the stars, and people like, you shouldn't point to the celebrities, but hey, Kelly Clarkson, Mary J. Blige, Halle Berry, J-Lo, all of them pay child support and spousal support. All of them, right? All of them done lost properties and cars and stuff like that through the divorce court, the family law system. All of them. It's starting to filter down, brothers. I could be wrong. What do I know? I'm just an old man sitting in his attic talking to his computer. What do I know? Let's finish this up, and then I want to get into like a quick little segment on the other video in a second. So let's go.
If the strive is not that, look, this is a lifelong union, then what's the point? Then it's just extended dating with a lot of potential negative ramifications if it doesn't work out. Financial ramifications, impact on the children, once again, impact on your own well-being and mental health, impact on your career, all these other things. And that's why, again, there are millions of young men, whether or not people like it, I know for a fact, there are millions of young men out there in the West who are terrified of the concept of marriage. And I don't think that there is.
And you think the top reason for that, there's a lot of reasons.
The only people who are addressing this are the red pill people.
Well, you're addressing it.
I am.
We're doing that right now.
This is a place where there's massive room for more conservative, especially, pro-marriage, pro-family people to speak on this and to offer some genuine solutions, because the incentive structure, as I've just said, it's so broken, and so many, and it's not just on paper. Again, there are millions of people who have been through this grinder and have been spat out the other side.
Well, the grinder is the contraceptive ideology, the divorce ideology, and now the gender ideology. And all three make up what we call the sexual revolution.
And then she kind of goes off on a tangent, and she's wrong. She does not want to face the facts. And Zuby is right there like, man, she just doesn't get it. The fact is the laws need to change. The fact is marriage as is set up today does not work. Those are the facts. Period. She doesn't want to accept it. And Zuby is kind of like, damn. You know what I mean? So Team Replay will definitely have this video linked, and this other video we're about to watch will be linked as well. Let me pull this up. Again, I forget who this dude is. But it's coming up. This dude is like a big time religious guy. Like, he's one of these Jesus warriors. And again, I don't have no problem with that. But when people tell me, when they start talking religion, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I stopped listening. Cause I'm like, man, I already know where this is going. So this dude right here, y'all can let me know in the chat who he is. There's a part right here. I just want to listen to this a little bit. This is a part in this whole show, this clip, which is like 11 minutes, 12-minute clip. Should men get married in today's society? No. Like, no, they should not. But I just wanted to hear this just real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. But yeah, it's crazy, brother Cash. Can't have old timey stuff in new times world. Facts. Rustlin, is that his name? Yeah, I've seen this guy. I've seen him on Sauce. Well, it was on PBD. He interviewed PBD. Patrick Bet-David is religious, but he doesn't wear it on his sleeve. This dude wears it on his sleeve, on his chest, on his back. He's got the helmet on. Like, bro. But let's check this out real quick.
This is the point I was making earlier about Christians leading by example.
Leading by
People
example.
wanting to be like them.
Right. And so if we look at Christian marriage versus secular marriage, which, by the way, this entire notion that there's a 50% divorce rate is nonsense. It's it's between 35 and 40. That was a false statistic given based on when no-fault divorce laws passed and what they were projecting the divorce rate was. It never actually hit 50%, which is another red pill talking point, which is nonsense.
I think most people say 40 to 50.
Yeah, it's closer to 35.
Okay.
It's 35 to 40 in terms of folks that get divorced throughout their lifetime. And so if we and then the folks who get divorced are more likely to get divorced. But then we look at Christian marriage and we find out that folks who go to church regularly and are, practicing their faith, taking their faith seriously, and those folks end up getting divorced at the lowest rates.
Yes.
If those folks have a slightly above average income, the whole divorce rate plummets.
Yep.
So most men are going to want kids. Most women are going to want kids. Who you have kids is the most important decision. I think who you marry and who you have kids with, by far the most
100%.
decision you're making. So if we're saying these folks over here who are creating healthy, stable families and healthy, stable environments, and they're staying married and they're flourishing, wouldn't we want to go and investigate and say, what is it about these Christians that are married for decades and decades at a time, instead of acting like they don't exist, which the red pill does?
Yeah, you know, one of the biggest flaws or all
right, so you can see where dude's coming from it, right? He's saying, well, the divorce rate is like in the 40 percentile. No, it's not. Right. And that's just the divorce rate. And then we talk about sexless marriages and happy, like people who are happy marriages, stuff like that. Like, look, everyone agrees that the divorce rate, and especially in America, 50%. No one really argues that point. When I see this dude arguing that point, I'm like, why would you argue this, bro? You know what I mean? Like, why would you argue this? And then to make the point that, well, again, Jesus is the answer. If you go to church and you read the Bible and you live this life, you're going to be successful. No, you're not, bro. It's not a separate number for people who are married. There is a separate number for people who make a lot of money. Divorce does tend to go down the more money people make. That is true. But that has nothing to do with religion. Right? So when I see stuff like this, I'm like, bro, again, they're trying to create something that's not real. They don't want to accept the true situation on the ground, and you are doomed to fail. You're doomed to fail. You're sitting there like, well, you know what? I don't know. La 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 la. I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just gonna do it this way. In World War II, the very beginning of World War II, when the Germans invaded France, there was a road into Belgium that stretched from Belgium all the way into Germany. It was the entire German army. They were on this road. It was the largest traffic jam ever at that point in time. Ever. In the history of the world, it was the largest traffic jam ever. It was the entire German army, the Wehrmacht, SS, all of them were on this road. Traffic jam. A French reconnaissance plane saw this traffic jam, looked down, couldn't believe what he saw. It's the entire German army on a road that they shouldn't be on. What? That's the entire German army. Right there below him. He makes a report. The report makes it to the highest ranking general in France. And that general refused to believe the situation on the ground. Refused to believe it. Nope. The Germans aren't there. The Germans are supposed to be over here. Nope. Check it again. Planes comes back like, yeah, that's them. We're looking at them. One airstrike, a joint airstrike from the French Air Force and the Royal Air Force, the RAF, World War II would have been over. The entire German military army was on the ground. And the French general in charge refused to believe the information. And that's how I look at these religious types. That's how I look at these blue pill people. Anyone who's out here saying that, nah, marriage works, they refuse to believe the information on the ground. Point blank, period. You go into that situation like that, you're gonna suffer the same fate that France suffered. They were utterly defeated. And I don't care how much you believe in God. God did not miracle France of victory that day. He tried to. God, like, here they go. If you're a religious person, hey, right here. He tried to. But the people on the ground didn't want to take that information. They didn't want to believe it. Their brother Penny's like, I don't know where the pro-marriage dudes get their stats. They get them from their head. They cherry pick. You know what I mean? And there's people on the right too. I mean, the numbers are going to fluctuate a little bit, but what dude's talking about is absolutely ridiculous. But even if you use his numbers, even if you say, okay, 40% of marriages end in divorce. Okay. But tack on another 20% of unhappy people and people who are just staying in marriage because they don't want to split their stuff up. You're still at 60%. That's still a very high number. Right? It's still a very high number. Why do that? You're still getting wrecked. It's like, yeah, Brother Russ, like that dude's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I mean, he just believes in what he believes in. He is there's a lot of hardcore red pill guys out there that go just as hard as he does on the red pill side. He's going extremely hard on the blue pill side. I wouldn't listen to that guy. I mean, I would listen to what he has to say, and I would go back and I would just go get some numbers. Like Brother Rush, like divorce rate is up by 70%. 40% is at grass. Yeah, I believe that, bro. I believe that. So I wanted to get that part in there real quick. And there's one more thing I want to show you guys. So when I hear stuff like this, man, it's like, man, what are y'all? Anyone who believes that, any young man who believes what that dude is pumping. And again, I'm gonna link that video in the description as well. So guys can go, you guys can go check it out for yourself. Right. But here it is, divorce stats for 2022. This is just for some LLC. I mean, it is what it is. Divorce statistics for 2022 in the U.S. Right. According to the American Psychological Association, approximately 40 to 50% of first marriages end in divorce. The divorce rate for second marriages is even higher, with approximately 60 to 67% of second marriages ending in divorce. I mean, it is what it is. He's saying, well, these numbers don't make sense because it was based on projections and da. No, these are people who actually got divorced. And you got states like California. States like California, they track marriages, but they don't track divorce. They don't know how many people got divorced in California. They don't track it. You have to go use separate entities to track that. So the state of California knows this, how they don't want to tell you. I really believe the state of California divorce rate's in the 60s, 60 percentile. Right. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the divorce rate in the United States was 3.2 per 1,000 population in 2019, down from 3.6 per 1,000 population in 2018. This means that approximately 827,261 divorces were recorded in 2019, with the total number of divorces since 2000 topping 8.3 million. Right. So when people say stuff like that, it's like, well, just go get the numbers. The numbers are out there. And again, I'm not saying that I don't believe in marriage. I believe in marriage. I'm just saying that a lot of people get out of it. And when they do, the laws wreck them. Like, that's all I'm saying. We need to change the laws. This is what Zuby is talking about. How can I tell some young man that I'm trying, or some one young woman for that matter, that has stuff, that's doing well, that has a bright future, to get married to someone who doesn't? Like, go marry this brokey. Why? When they can take you to court They could take you to family court and wreck you in 5 to 7 years. That's not a good idea. And if you understand this information, take this information for what it is, understand it. Okay. Go get your prenup. Go talk to lawyers. Go get your prenup. And if that person signs a prenup, great. Because everything is all stated in the paperwork, great. Should people be compensated if they dedicated their lives to a spouse and a marriage and it doesn't work? Should they be compensated? Yeah, absolutely. But they weren't out there taking any swings like Tiger Woods. They weren't out there shooting any jump shots like LeBron James. Yeah, but they were maintaining a home. They were there morally supporting him. Like, hey, they might have been the reason to get him up. They're the reason he's eating healthy. They could be the reason he's in the gym, right? She's, she's doing everything she needs to do to keep him happy. That comes, there's a price for that, bro. Now, if she's sitting around doing nothing, or if he's sitting around doing absolutely nothing, just leeching and whatever, then they don't get shit. They don't get shit. You know what I mean? But again, and this is what my man Jay Swans was saying. It was like, look, bro, most people don't want to do the right thing. Most people are greedy, right? Most people are just bad people, and they want to get over. I'm like, you're right. And he's like, so we need the government to make it right. I'm like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? I don't agree with that at all. Life of Cash, bro, 50% divorce rates is huge. It's a huge L. Yeah, even if it's just 50%, it's a huge L. Even using his numbers, use the 35%. He was saying 35% of marriages fail. All right, tack on the other 20% of people who are unhappy and they're staying married because they don't want to go through losing half their stuff or whatever. You're still over 50%. Even using his numbers, you're over 50%. And like Brother Cash says, that's a huge L. Go to a restaurant with a 50% chance of getting food poisoning. Right. Excited yet, gents? Brother Lou's in the building. What's up? Yeah, church denominations only and get a contract. That's all you need. Facts. At the end of the day, man, that's what it should be. Just go get a contract. You can choose to get a contract or not, but the government's not going to step in. If your marriage fails or whatever, ladies and gentlemen, if your marriage fails, we're not going to help you do nothing. Go to the church or wherever you want to get married, get yourself a contract, and that's what it is. That's what it is. But we're not going to take anything from anybody. That's how I believe it should be honest with you. That's what I think it should be. What percent of marriages end in divorce? According to the American Psychological Association, approximately 40 to 50% of first-time marriages end in divorce. The divorce rate for second marriages is even higher, right? We read that earlier, 60 to 67% of second marriages end in divorce. Right? According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there were 2,245,404 marriages in 2019. And 827,261 divorces, which means approximately 37% of marriages end in divorce in that 1 year. That was just 2019. The current divorce rate in the United States is 3.2 per 1,000 population, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. This means that approximately 827,261 divorces were recorded in 2019, with the total number of divorces since 2000 topping 8.3 million. Right? These are just the numbers. You read this stuff and people just get mad. Like, why are you mad? These are just the numbers. Who is getting divorced, when, and why? The divorce rate in the United States is highest among adults aged 25 to 39, with the majority of divorces occurring at the end of the first 5 years of marriage. Wow, the first 5. Don't even make the first 7. The most common reason for divorce or communication issues, infidelity, and financial problems, among others. You don't even have to state a reason. The median duration of the first marriage that end in divorce, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the median duration of first marriages that end in divorce is 8 years. So they say the 7-year itch. So 5, 7, 8. 8 years, the median. That's 2019, y'all. The median duration of the second marriage. The median duration of the second marriage that ends in divorce is shorter than the median duration of the first marriages. Wow. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, the median duration of second marriages that end in divorce is 7 years. Maybe that's where we got the 7-year itch from. U.S. divorce rate by occupation. Divorce rates vary by occupation, with some occupations having a higher rate of divorce than others. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the occupations with the highest divorce rates are construction workers, food servers, and salespeople. I didn't know that. Military divorce. Divorce is more common among military personnel than it is among civilians. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, the divorce rate for active duty members of the military was 3.7% in 2018, down from 3.9% in 2017. Yeah, bro. I can tell you all about that. You know what I mean? All those military folks in here can tell you all about that. When a husband gets deployed, when the unit goes to the field, his woman goes out to the club. Man, oh man, especially at Fort Bragg. Man, I could tell you stories, y'all. Fort Bragg was crazy. This was in the 90s. From 90 to 93, when I was there, Fort Bragg was crazy. Them women was getting it in. Them women would be waiting at the 19th replacement. 19th replacement and 82nd replacement. That's where all the women be hanging out. Hey, how you doing? Hey, do you need anything? You know, I can take it to the PX. You know, you need anything? They be up there hunting these married women. They husband in COSCOM or something like that, or in the signal, you know, the engineer unit, the engineer battalion, or the signal battalion, they off deployed somewhere, and you all up in dude's house, tearing up his wife. Man, I got stories, y'all. Yeah, it's like I can't tell it. I can't tell these stories. I'm gonna have to set up a Patreon for this one. Life of Cash is like story time. Oh no, I got it. Ooh, man, should I tell the story? Should I tell the story? No, I'm not gonna do it on this one. I'm not gonna do it on this one. I'm gonna do it though. I'll save it. I'll save it, man. I'm gonna save it. It's a good story too. Oh, Lord have mercy, it's a good story. I'll save it though. Brother Lou, I think a lot of men in the military should wait until retirement so they can secure more respect, leverage, and be in a position not to put up with anything. You know, like you just young and in love, man. I feel you though. I think they should wait, especially if you're in units that deploy a lot. You know, like if you're in an airborne unit or like, you know, Ranger, Green Beret, or something like that, LERP teams. Like if you're in the Air Force where you're constantly, you know, on call. I don't know what they call it now, but it was a Defense Rated Brigade. I was part of that when I was in. If you're on that kind of status where you don't, you know, recall and all that. I mean, dude, our mission, bro, we could be anywhere on planet Earth in 18 hours or less, bro. So we practice for that. And you're right, we were in the field. We're going to birds. We don't know if it's a real mission or not. And then just, you know, they just drop us somewhere and then, you know, we do our mission. We'll be gone 2 weeks, easy. 3 weeks, easy. We don't even know how long we're going to be gone. Man, wife is at home doing whatever she want to do. Wife is just having a good old time. Like again, they're like, yeah, names of the participants have been changed to protect their innocence, bro. Bro. Yeah, man. I tell you what, Life of Cash, man, come to the next meeting on the 18th, man. come to the next meeting. I'll tell you the story. I'll tell all the nights the story. Come to the meeting. It's Friday the 18th, bro. At was it King Corona, whatever it is. Yeah, come to the meeting on the 18th, and I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you the story. I'll buy you a Hennessy, bro, or whatever it is you're drinking on, and I'll tell the story. So that's Friday the 18th, and it's King Corona, the International Mall, right next to the Tampa Airport, bro. You know, if you want to hear the story, come through, and I'll tell you. And then it goes into divorce rates in specific population segments. Divorce rates among different population segments, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the divorce rate for individuals aged 25 to 39 is significantly higher than the divorce rate for individuals aged 40 to 54. Additionally, the divorce rate for individuals with high school education or less is higher than the divorce rate for individuals with college education or more. Didn't know that. And then it gets into same-sex stats. When do people divorce? We already talked about that. Why people are divorcing in the United States. The most common reason for divorce are communication issues, infidelity. Okay, we talked about that. What makes people more or less likely to divorce? How did COVID impact divorce rates? It says that COVID has significantly impacted on divorce rates in the United States. It had a significant impact on divorce rates in the United States. According to American Psychological Association, the number of divorces spiked during the pandemic as couples had to face extended periods of time in close quarters with each other, leading to increased conflict and stress. That part right there, I get it, but that part right there, that kind of blew my mind. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm a romantic, bro. Real talk, I'm a romantic. I have to fight with myself to not be that guy. I have to fight with myself to not want to go out and get her chocolate covered strawberries or nice flowers or do nice things. I have to force myself not to do these things because I know that's detrimental to me. I need time to vet the woman. So if I'm with someone, if I'm married to a woman, I'm living with a woman, I want to be with her. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool being stuck in. If I'm going to be stuck somewhere in the house, I want to be stuck there with her. And the fact that divorce rates spiked when people were forced to be with one another lets you know, like, they really wasn't into each other, were they? It was they really got married for another reason, right? Other than that true love or whatever, man. So that's what I'm saying, man. You got to be careful out here, bro. Got to be careful, bro. Yeah, I got you, Cash. Show up, bro. I got you. I got that bourbon. We got it, man. We'll be there, man. So come through, bro. Looking forward to seeing you, brother Lou. So people were really marrying people they didn't like. Wow. Facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at that like, what? They were getting married to people they didn't like, or maybe what they liked about them was the fact that they can go out and, you know, they're funny. You know, we're clouded up. We get to go out and our life is lit. And it's you know, I'm working most of the day. Then I come home, we go out, we party a little bit, we come back, we have crazy sex, and then we go to bed. Then it starts over again. I don't have to see them. But now it's like, well, I'm sitting here, I'm stuck with this woman, I'm stuck with this dude. I don't like this dude. I want to get a divorce. Lady Navoa is in the building. What's good, sis? Glad you came through. Caught us at the end. We're just wrapping it up. But yeah, people were getting married. I'm telling you, man, people got married because they wanted the wedding. They wanted to be the power couple, right? They wanted everything but what they were supposed to want, each other. And it's easy to get divorced. You're not stuck. You're not stuck. You feel me? So people were definitely getting married for the wrong reason. And it's easy to get out of it. And this is why we have to take all this information into consideration, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to marriage, because these laws can wreck you. It's not the fact that the marriage didn't work. It's not the fact that the relationship didn't work. That's something separate. The laws that govern marriage will wreck you. Oh yeah, Sister Lady in the voice. She said she's been ninja watching. She's been up in here. Appreciate you, love. And that's what I talk about. I am not anti-relationship. And I want to end on this, right? I am not anti-relationship. I am not anti-marriage. I have a problem with the laws that govern marriage. I have a problem with Americans getting wrecked in that process. That's my problem. Right? And I thought I would get all this done within an hour. It took 2 hours to get through it, right? Shout out to Zuby. Shout out to that brother. You know what I mean? I hope Zuby keeps doing what he's doing. He's bringing the real to him. He's forcing them to deal with the reality. There's people out there on the blue pill side, or there's people out there on the red pill side, the traditional side, the religious side, that want to just make up their own narrative, and that's fine. I challenge each and every one of you guys to go out there and do your own research, do your own due diligence, and make an informed decision. But to my man, Jay Swans, unless the laws change, I am going to continue to advise these young men not to get married. That's what I'm going to do. Until these laws change, marriage, the way it is right now in the Western world, is a bad deal for whoever has the money. If you a brokey, man, get it. Get it. Hey, but if you got something to lose, you need to think about it. I would say don't do it. Brother Life of Cash, DL, is not against rap. he's just against rappers. He's not against rap. He's not against rappers. He's just against them reality defiers. Yeah, he just gets them thugs, thuggish, rugged bones. I see you, bro. That's hilarious. I'm not against rap. I'm not against rappers. But for real though, that's funny, man. That is funny. That is funny. You know what I mean? So we done wrapped up, man. Thank y'all so much for rocking out with me, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming through and listening to this old man talk to his computer while he's sitting in his attic. You know what I mean? I will be back tomorrow. I'm supposed to be back at 6. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do one early because after school, I promised to take my daughter to this new gaming place. They do like indoor kart racing, and it's like, you know, adventure stuff and video games. I'm gonna take my daughter there tomorrow after school. Then I gotta take it to her mom, and that gets me into the night. So I'll probably have a late episode. It'll be a lit saint episode because I'm still able to drink. I haven't started my new workout regimen yet. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go see my coach and find out when we're gonna get started. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do something early, hopefully earlier in the day, and then I'll do a late episode, lit sync episode. You know, I'll come home a little slippery. You know what I mean? You know, and talk a little craziness about whatever it was I was getting into Friday night. Supposed to go dancing Friday, so I might go check that out. I think they'll be dancing. I don't think they have a concert tomorrow. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. And again, I am not against marriage in America. I'm just against those laws. I am 100% for relationships. I am 100% for marriage, but I am absolutely 100% against the laws that govern marriage in America. So, Brother Lou, LOL, you're not old, bro. You're probably younger than me. I don't know, man. I'm up there. I got more than half a century under my belt, bro. But you know, we black, we don't crack. It is what it is. This was a lot of fun, man. I appreciate each and every one of you, man. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, man. We out here. I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.